as more people have much, much more contributions. Let's see. So let me tell you about the series, okay? So you guys have one more opportunity after today to be part of the live version of this series because we on part three. Part three, woo! Everybody say part three of the series. So the series is the series, that's right. The series is designed for entrepreneurs, business owners, and event professionals who want to launch, manage, and optimize virtual events with confidence. You're going to learn from industry experts, which is us, and gain actionable insights and discover proven strategies to create engaging and successful virtual experiences. Now, what all that means is that you will learn and gain the skill set that you need to produce an event that is amazing, not only for yourself, but for your clients. And then your clients are always twofold. It's going to be your vendors and sponsors, as well as your attendees, and then anything that happens on the back end of that. Then we're going to talk. So today we're going to talk about the strategies for launching and managing virtual events. Now, there's a lot of parts and a lot of moving things that happen during events. You have attendees who need assistance with technical issues like I did today. I had to call in the big dogs today. Phil Ducky had to come over here and get me right because, yeah, yesterday was just a crazy tech day. All right, then the whole point of doing this event is so that we can learn from Erica's vast experience of hosting hundreds of virtual events. And so today she's going to kind of lead us through what those strategies look like, why launching and managing virtual events is important. And so what we'll get into is what makes a great virtual event launch and how to overcome challenges and how to attract the right audience. So those are like three very distinct things that are very important to know. But we're going to cover those three things today. And so so that we don't belabor this thing and just keep people in suspense as far as like what Erica's bomb she's going to drop for us today. I'm going to jump right into the questions. Everybody ready?
Ready.
Ready.
Okay, so later on we'll let everybody tell everybody who they are. Thomas, I'm still jealous of that lens because I want that look, honey. You look amazing. Okay, you look amazing. All right, so let's kind of like, instead of going over all the different topics, I'm gonna let Erica kind of like get into those in a minute. But my first question is, what is the very first step you take when planning a virtual event, Erica Bates?
My very first step is deciding on if I actually want to do it. I actually want to go through it or not, because it's a lot of work, especially if you're still deciding. Like, if you know what's going on, you know what you want to get out of it, you know what you want to happen, you know what you want your attendees, your speakers, and sponsors to get out of it, that's a piece of cake. But if you're still deciding, that takes energy, and that honestly makes me tired. So I gotta really decide for myself if I actually want to go through with it. So that's my answer.
Hey, Thomas, what about you?
All right.
So, like, what's your very first step you want to take when you're planning a virtual event?
I gotta see what the market is first, so and dial in that event for that specific market. As you
Okay,
know, I'm in a pretty niche market, so I want to make sure there's really a market there for what I'm planning to do.
absolutely. All right. And Anna, what's your
So
first thing?
my first step is actually deciding the topic and like who I'm going to do this event for. So it depends if I'm the one hosting the event or if it's a client that's hosting the event. So I like to look first of who are we going to serve and how are we going to serve them. And that's how I make the decision on, okay, let's host this event.
Okay. All right, well, y'all know how I do my thing. So I just decided I want to do it and do it. And I feel like if people want to show up, they're going to show up because I'm doing it really does because I want to just share that information because I feel that it's valuable. So I'm not more focused on my audience. I always build my audience intentionally and very focused. And if you were part of the series where I talked about that, you know exactly what I'm saying. If you didn't see it, you need to go back and watch it because there was some really good content. But the fact is that when I think there's see for Thomas, his is about like being able to monetize properly, because Thomas is a businessman all the way. He's like, I'm not doing it if it ain't paying me. And I love it. Right. And then a lot of times when I do virtual events, it's because I'm trying to create some kind of change, right? So that's my goal. It's like I want to do something that's going to be impactful, even if it's only 4 people. Those 4 people are going to get something really great out of it. So I used to do a lot of events for other people, but then I decided I just like the more customized version. So next question, everybody ready? Okay, how do you define success for a virtual event and what KPIs or goals matter to you most, Erica Bates?
Oh, you always got to throw at me.
Hey, because
Okay.
this is your job. This is your jam right here.
Understood. So what I want out of the event, first I'm going to start off with the platform. How many people can I have on this platform? So if I'm on Zoom meetings, if I can have 100 people, I want 100 people. If I'm using Air Meets, I think my max is like 1,000. If I can have the max of that platform, I want it. That's one of my KPIs. And I honestly, I think the conversion rates for the average conversion rate would be like, is it 1 or 3%?
Mm-hmm.
But I want 10 because I think that's a good even number. And it's a little greedy, but I want what I want.
Okay. All right, Anna, what you got for me?
Well, I don't define success with numbers like most of my colleagues do.
Mm.
I define success by the experience that my attendees and my speakers and my sponsors and my if it's an in-person event, also my what's the name? My English is running out right now. My
all of us running out.
My
It's 6 o'clock
providers.
at night.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, where's my English? I define the way people feel. Those are my KPIs. If they had a good time, if they got the result and that my event promise actually was fulfilled, that my speakers feel happy and excited that they're participating and that they want to share, that my sponsors feel cared for. Those are my real KPIs. Like, and if we're talking numbers, I am also greedy, Erica. I don't want 10, I want 20, I want 40%. What do you mean? 1%. What's that? But I don't like to focus on those numbers because for me, I learned back in when I was doing in-person events back in 2008, that what matters most is what people feel in the event, not that all the things that went wrong or all like they don't even know what went wrong because they don't know what they don't know. So like one of my first events, like seriously, the sparkling cider, like I got wet in it when I opened it. Okay, nobody cared. Like I was like drenched in it. But everybody had a super good time and we even got a prize from it. So that's when I learned that, it doesn't matter all the things that we have because we're planners, we want all these things. It's so rigid, right? Especially when it comes to numbers and conversion rates. But if people didn't have a good time, if people keep talking about the event after the event has happened, for me, that's success. Like I still have speakers praising my summer summit that we had 20% attendance rates in summer. And I'm like, that's what I want. I want them to be excited and then money just comes by default. But those are my KPIs, return on experience.
Very nice. All right, Thomas, what you got?
Well, I'm kind of a metrics guy, so I stand opposed to add a little bit there. Is I like to see the numbers and, the number of upsells, things like that. My the events I do and the shows I do are really to get people to upsell them into my consulting services and stuff. So the conversion rate is important, but in a nod to Anna's point too, is that the metrics don't always tell you everything. So, my show has on YouTube has a number of viewers and subscribers and those things. But I went to an industry event last fall, and it really struck me is that a lot of people came up to me and they'd seen my show. That they hadn't necessarily even watched the episode, but the fact that my show was there, they knew who I was. They saw my posts on LinkedIn. They knew who I was, and they connected. So that's something the metrics can't really tell you. So it's the metrics are there and you can use them, but they don't always tell you everything. So you got to take it with a grain of salt and not get totally discouraged if your metrics aren't that great, because you can measure things in other ways that are a little, more qualitative than quantitative, I guess.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so let's see. Okay, for me, my KPIs, y'all, this is going to sound so crazy and it's going to sound a little bit ghetto, but my KPIs are always just like Anna's: people who came, people who attended. I never worry about the people who didn't show up. It just means it wasn't for you. And that the people who actually make it to the room are, whether it's in person or not, because I'm not really, I don't know. I'm working on being better at wanting to be in person. That's never been my thing. I'm always the person who's like, I'm so excited to do a thing, so excited to do a thing. And I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm trying to manage these phones over here. I'm so excited to do a thing until it's time to do it. And I'm like, I don't want to do it. So yeah, so that whole in-person thing. And then now, so for me to take the the way that my people feel when they come to an event and be able to, I love swag, so I'm always looking for like really good swag. And like, so last year I threw like this really big event, and my thing was to have the right people to be in the event so that they can interact with each other, right? And then that was like the best part, because I didn't have to be, I didn't want it to be in the center of attention. Wasn't my interest. My interest was having all the people there like amp up. Like, people are still to this day talking about that event, just like yours, Anna, and it's great. So it was an in-person event and all that kind of stuff. So what I'm always trying to learn better so I can do better, and so the numbers are always important. So let's talk about in general now. You people out there who try to run these virtual events, don't do them for free. Yes, it is about the money. So don't even get it twisted, okay? Because you have to, it's a lot of work, and you have to pay the people who's going to be part of your event most of the time. So you have to do speaker wrangling, somebody has to be managing the chat, you have to have people, if you don't know how to do graphics, you have to have graphics, because you have to have speaker cards, like all these things. So it is about the money. So let's be clear, because people don't do stuff for free. Right. And then go ahead, Erica.
I just wanted to say, with Anna Andrea, it's not just her events. If you hang out with her, like I hung out with her and she helped me set up my chat bot.
Mm-hmm.
I had a good time. So I don't think it's just an event. I think it's actually her. And with your event, Elle, all my favorite in-person events are been when you hosted them. And every time I'm on any of Thomas' events, I learned something new, and I always knew I'm going to get that new when I hang out with Thomas.
Yes.
So I think it's the host that has something to do with it. I just had to throw that in there.
I agree. But I'm just saying, like, for the logistics of it all, right? You got to remember, we talking about, we in this room, we know, right? But we also know that our fundamentals, we got them. and we know that if we put on an event, we're gonna make some money. Okay, it's just a given. But when you are new and you don't know how that works, I don't want you to take our advanced version of an event and miss the point that you are making an event so you can make money. Okay, it doesn't have to only be about the money. It doesn't have to, that doesn't have to be the main focus, but it has to be a focus because you need to get an ROI. Okay, so that is super important. And yes, we're talking about all the fluff and everything in the ether, but the facts are that you have to make sure that you have a plan. You have to make sure that you are, whether it's ticket sales or some selling products like Thomas want to sell somebody, then upsell them to something else. That's really important because I want you to really get the one, everybody out there to really get that. Yes, we are talking about doing all the things up here, but our fundamentals are there. So we have a plan on how we're going to either get people to go from one thing to the next, which is going to be paid, or they're going to come in and buy something at that event. Okay, so that is important. Can't skip that part. Okay, so all right, like you're ready.
Quick point is that some people talk about tripwire type things, which are low cost. So you'll see people doing events for like $27, and you're not making any money, but you're getting them in there maybe to buy the recordings or to upsell them on things. So you get people to pay for a tripwire event or a tripwire product, as it were, and then you get them into the funnel basically at that point. So, that concept has been around for a while. It's not the newest thing, but that is so. But I like that idea better than the totally free events or the freemium events, because you're getting them to pay and it's offsetting your costs a little bit up front, and then you can upsell them from there. And, so you can get a little bit of money from that, but obviously the money to be made is in the upsells.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you, Thomas. But I just don't want people to think that we're doing events for free just because we like doing events. We like doing them, but we want to get paid. Okay, let's keep it
like
clear.
To talk, right?
Yeah, we want to keep
We
it clear.
love to talk.
Yes, for sure. All right, so y'all ready to go to the next question? Okay.
Do it.
Yeah. Okay. Third question: Have you ever had to pivot your event strategy mid-launch? What happened and what did you learn, Erica Bates?
Okay, so 2 years ago, I had an idea of being Black Friday ready in 90 days or less. I didn't want to do it, and I put it off. I set up a landing page. I set up an ebook. I set up pre-event countdowns. I had an email sequence, and I didn't want to do it. So I thought I'd do it next year. And I looked over all the stuff I've made. I was like, I don't want to do it. So I didn't. But this year, I'm going to actually follow through because I've already had the stuff made. It just took me 2 years to say, maybe people actually want this. Maybe if I set this up, since I already have it set up, if I say it's going to go out in August, people will be actually ready for Black Friday. They will have their affiliate links. They'll know who, what SaaS or what service provider they want to promote for, and they could actually make some money with this. And I thought this would actually be a good thing for Black Friday if you got ready for it in August. So yeah, I'm actually going to follow through. It took me a minute, but yeah, I think I'm ready to follow through.
All right.
So
all right, Thomas.
That was a 2-year pivot.
Hey, I think that, it's better than not pivoting at all. All right, Thomas.
All right. If you do a live show and you got guests on, you got to be prepared to pivot because, if you stay really structured, it may come cost a little, like very stilted and stuff. So, and if somebody brings up something when you're interviewing them that's interesting, not just want to go down rabbit holes, but you want to follow that thing if it's interesting. And so you need to be prepared to open yourself up to change the questions a little bit and be flexible on that, because you can really bring out some interesting things that you just didn't plan for or expect right up front. So yeah, live guests, you got to be prepared to pivot.
That's right. Because Anna said something earlier. You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
All right, Anna, your turn.
I've been thinking about this question for a while. But not mid-launch, but in this summit that I'm hosting at the end of the month of this month, April, I had to pivot because there was this speaker there's a few speakers that I had to replace for different reasons. One, they couldn't do the promotional calendar. Another one had a lot of family situations and their own launch going on. Another one was like, oh, I spent 200K on building my email list. And I'm like, do you not know who my other speakers are? Like, what do you mean you spent 200K on your email list and you can't promote? Okay. And then I had one, and that's how we're launching right now. On day one, I should have 6 to 7 sessions every day. But on day one, we're only going to have 5 because I had this speaker that was super excited to participate and then ghosted me. I had to go. Yeah, like I sent like 4 messages on Messenger. He's a recommendation from another speaker. So, and he's a 2 award, whatever winner, all the things. He was supposed to be the first speaker on the lineup. Okay, guys, like I was excited to have him. Yeah. And then I messaged him in Messenger like 4 or 5 times. I'm like, what is it? Is it me chasing a man down? I'm not doing that. So I asked the speaker that recommended him, like, hey, could you tell me, like, how do you communicate with this man? Because no email responses, no messenger responses. And she's like, through school. And I'm like, okay. I went to her membership because I'm in her membership in school. I found him. I sent him a message. He replied, excited again, to asking me, where's the email? What's the email? And then ghosted again. So I was like, you know what? I'm done. Like, I am not chasing no person, no speaker ever. Like, I don't care about hurting my cats. So that's how I call my speakers my little cats, because they all have personalities of their own. And I had to cater to their stuff. Like yesterday, I had a speaker calling me on Messenger, and I'm like, don't call me. What are you doing? But she wouldn't move a finger if I didn't call her back. So I called her back. But that's fine. Like, I don't mind catering to my speakers, but chasing them down, absolutely not. Like, I'm giving you a platform. I'm putting everything together. I'm giving you the opportunity to be showcased with other 7 multiple figure speakers, and you were excited and then you're ghosting me. No. So instead of having that speaker be the first one on the line, I put the speaker that recommended me. Now you're going to know when you find out the lineup. She's going to go first. And then at the end, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a networking party for everybody. So I'm going to like open a Zoom room, and I'm going to have everybody come join us. And if the speakers can come, great. If they can't come, whatever, we'll create some. I'm still figuring out what we're going to do, but I'm adding a live session instead of him, just to like compensate a little, but that's how I pivoted.
Okay, that's very cool. I can't wait to hear more about this event. I'm like, okay, I'll be a speaker. Wait a minute, hold on. I might need to come. Okay. So, but for I think that events are designed for pivot.
Yeah.
You don't have a choice. You know, there's no such thing as everything's going to work out fine, because okay, so today I'm the host. I had technical issues. I could not hear you guys. Y'all couldn't hear me. I'm talking to Erica on the phone. I'm like, I'm coming. I'm trying. So it's like, and then, oh my gosh, don't talk about Erica's best friend who will never show up on time. Because yeah, I'll let her tell y'all who it is. But I'm like, no, I can't do it. So it's always a thing. So I think that events, I'm talking to the people out there in the audience, when you're going to produce an event, don't freak out when things don't go well. Because Erica tell you, I do not speak or wrangle at all. if I reach out to you and ask you if you're interested in being part of my event, and you say yes, and I give you a place where you go and you sign up and put all your information. If you don't put all your information by the time the deadline, you're out. I don't care. It's not my issue. I'm not your mother. I'm not your babysitter. This is how it goes. It's business. It's not personal. You either get it done or you don't. And I'm fine with it, because if I have to be the host and talk to the people the whole time, guess what? That's what's gonna happen. They just gonna be mad because they gotta look at my face all day. But that's what's gonna go down, because it is what it is. So yeah, I don't speak, or I don't. Well, Erica just laughs at me because I don't speak or wrangle, but I'm just like, look, you
Not
show up or
just
you don't.
that. In South Carolina, we got this thing called no call, no show. That means you
Yeah.
quit. Elle sees them as they quit. Not only do you not get to be a part of that event, she will never call you again because you
Mm-mm.
quit.
Yeah, you ain't gonna put egg on my face twice now. We gonna get that together. Because usually when I have an event, I try to have that everybody who comes to the room needs to have something to add to the room, so I feel like that's how it should be, regardless of whether you're attendee or on the platform. You're going to be in the room, so you need to have something to contribute. We don't want anybody who's just going to be just be a bump on the dog's booty, as I always say. All right, Thomas, did you answer this question?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I thought so, because Thomas is very I feel like Thomas is like very like the same, you know what I mean? Like he's like very even keeled. Let's like, this is how it goes and this is what happens. Yes, something crazy is going to go on and I got this. And that's how you should be as a host. It's not, Thomas has hosted a lot of events. I don't know how many. I would say at least a few hundred, if not more. And um you can't shake him, and I feel like that comes with experience. And as a virtual event host, you really need, I don't think, how can I say this? I hosted my first virtual event by myself. Would I do it again knowing what I know now? No, I would have people help me like I do now, right? Because I feel like there's so many things, and people are like, Zoom is too much anymore. And I'm like, Zoom is not, I mean, your Zoom might be boring, but our Zoom is never boring.
I think that they're the
Somebody
boring
told me
ones.
that today.
Yeah, our Zoom is always rocking. There's always something going on. The one dude comes on sometimes and he always doing something crazy. I mean, he got what's the Asian guy's name? Um,
Hmm.
you
You talking
know,
about John?
John,
yes, yes. And he'll like
we
come
love
on.
John.
Yes, and like
Yeah.
his crazy. Oh my God! So there's always stuff going on. So I feel like it's just like, if it's just, this is no different than being on stage. And if you are a boring host on Zoom, you're gonna be a boring host on stage. And I don't think I want to go to your event. So if you think that Zoom is boring, then you have a problem. It is not Zoom and it is not us. So get it right. Okay.
Let me quote my photography teacher.
Okay.
So he says, it is not your equipment. You use what you have. You use what you have well. You use what you have to the best of your abilities. You use what you have to the best of its abilities. It is never the equipment. It is always the operator.
That's right.
Pretty
Because you can
much.
see people, yeah, because you can see people do like shoot a whole commercial or a movie on a freaking iPhone. I'm like, man, or you see how they like they'll try to get you to take their class, and they're like, okay, so this, you do this setting, you take this picture, and then they take a picture of themselves like regular, like how I do. I'm always looking crazy on the thing, and then they have a picture, a selfie that they took with their expertise, and I'm like, man, need to have one of those. That was great. And it's the same phone. So yeah. I think that is absolutely correct. And we are ready for the next question. Okay, so I think we
Question?
covered, huh?
May I ask a question? I like to know because I'm nosy. What is everyone's favorite platform for virtual events?
I don't care. I'll do any of them. Except your guy. Your friend, I don't like him.
You're talking about OneStream Live. So we are actually using OneStream Live right now.
Maybe.
We're streaming live to
Maybe.
at least 8 platforms.
Maybe.
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 I like events where I can hook up an RTMP so
Oh
that
yeah.
real time. Yeah,
I mean,
I
well,
love
all right.
RTMP.
Those
And if I
gadgets.
can hook it up to something, I'm going to use it.
Okay,
I
so
don't
I'm
have
all
those
into.
gadgets.
Oh, you don't know. Oh well, I'm okay. Okay, so, okay, so sometimes you can have a platform that says that it will do something, and then you go on to use it, and it doesn't do that consistently. So it's not that it can't; it just doesn't do it consistently. And when you're trying to produce an event, you don't have time for inconsistency. So you need to be able to count on your tools, and they need to work when you grab for them. So that's how
I
come me and her friend is not cool because they don't
I
always work.
agree.
Yeah. So, but I don't care which platform it is. It doesn't matter to me. It's like as long as I've had an opportunity to um do it. I also, okay, so you guys, let me say this. We are well, not you, Thomas, but Thomas got this camera. See, you see how gorgeous Thomas looks? I'm gonna need a filter or something that's gonna make me look that gorgeous, honey. Okay? I need that in my life. I'm like, because I'm gonna make sure that Phil see this video so he can get me a lens like Thomas got.
Thomas send her the specs.
Oh my gosh, Thomas just what?
Sigma 16 millimeter. So
All right, well, I don't know what they sound like. It costs $1 million. Okay, I might have to
that,
go.
That's a
A
lens,
couple
right? And your
thousand.
camera's like
yeah.
a Sony. Your
The
camera's
camera is, yeah, it's a Sony CBE10, but Sigma 16 millimeter. So the 16 millimeter kind of gives you that depth of field, which is what I think what you're
Mm.
looking for. So
Yeah, but look, your skin looks so smooth and gorgeous. I'm like,
It's a Zoom pretty.
I know, right? I'm like, shoot.
there's
Okay.
So
a
I'm
face
Thomas
cream I
is on
use
a
this
farm
morning.
and he has a well.
all the
Thomas has his
skincare.
own water. Thomas has his own food. Thomas ain't eating this
Literally.
pretend stuff we got out here.
Oh
That
well, then I'm
That's
gonna
why
need
skin
that
looks
too.
good.
I'm gonna need that too, then, Thomas. All right, y'all. We're getting off topic, but in your way. Okay, so I think we answered my fourth question already. So we're gonna go to number 5. What's a common mistake you see people make when launching a virtual event, and how can it be avoided, Erica Bates?
I've seen people get frustrated like really easily. Like I've had speakers not show up the day of, and I call and ask how come you're not here. And they when I've seen this happen to other people, when it happens to me, I have a video, or I'll just say something happened and move on. But I've seen people get really frustrated, and your audience doesn't have to know, and quite possibly don't care. You can actually just move on and not show any hurt feelings at all. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. So when I have clients that has had that happen, I try to get them to move on smoothly. I tell them what they could do, like play a recording, or you can talk about that same topic with a group of people maybe. And I try to get them not to have hurt feelings while being recorded and or live.
Okay. All right, Thomas.
Not rehearsing and making sure you're prepared for, following on what Erica said, the unexpected, somebody doesn't show up. You got to have a backup plan, all those things that, you spend a lot of time preparing up front, rehearsing, making sure you have a backup plan, a video you can play if somebody doesn't show up or, your sound doesn't work. All those things can and will go wrong at some point. So you just have to not get flustered and roll with the punches, And sometimes you just got to reboot, start over, I mean, you hate to do that, but it just is what it takes to solve things sometimes. So you can't get flustered, you got to go on with the show. And I think that what the mistake a lot of, newbies, I guess, make is they think everything is going to go according to plan, and it never happens. So things never go according to plan. So
No.
you got to be prepared for
Great
that.
joke.
Yes, exactly. My favorite quote is, if you want to hear God laugh, do tell him your plans. Okay. So I would say that yeah, that's just the most important thing, is to be aware and be ready and just know ahead of time, right? That there's a that you need to have contingency plans for your situation. And worst case scenario, like Thomas said, you have to regroup, reset, and start over. Again, remember that the people who it's for will be in the room. And when it's virtual, you always got replays. So just because they didn't get to make it live, they can always get to watch it again. And they will reach out to you, later on. So just don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Because even when you have like a bad situation, you can redeem it. And then you can, and if it really sucks, guess what? You can take it down.
The beauty of virtual.
Yeah, because it's like, if your in-person event sucks, guess what? You could just, do something right there and kind of start over. So, okay, Anna.
For me, since you guys already said about the launching, I would say pre-launch, the mistakes that they make is that they're still trying to make general events, like mindset events and spiritual events and business events or women entrepreneur events. Why am I going to join to that? Like, the more I actually had a speaker today congratulate me on how specific the topic I gave him, because he now has a way to promote it to his list. And
Yeah.
I'm like, hell yeah, because people are not specific. They're still trying to do this huge ass, more is not better when it comes to event. Less is more. More speakers is not the answer. More topics is not the answer. Like, the more specific we are, the better the event is. Like, if we focus, like I've been to events where literally I can count about 5 or 7 topics that could be a whole event. So it's like, we're still trying to do 2020 events in 2025. That's the biggest mistake. The audience is not home anymore. They need to make time for it again. They have to plan their schedule. And if it's not compelling enough, they're not even going to watch the replays. I'm a fan of replays because I can watch double speed. This is why I do pre-recorded events. I love them because I can speed things up. I cannot speed you up on a live Zoom event. It's like, talk faster, damn it. But yeah, like not being specific enough. That's the biggest mistake I see when it comes to newbies trying to create virtual events. And OGs, like, I still see it in event producers and colleagues that are already, they've been doing events longer than I have, and they are still doing the same events. And I'm like, guys, can we innovate? Like, please.
Yes, absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly. Everybody else agree? Yes. Yes, for sure, for sure, for sure. All right. A lot of these things we already kind of talked about.
It's okay if you want to skip around or improvise.
I'm cool. I'm just trying to decide like which direction I want to take this right now. Okay, this is a good one. Okay, so when it comes to retention and follow-up, how do you keep attendees engaged after the event And what follow-up strategies do you swear by, Erica Bates?
So I like to talk to them right before the event is over. I like to have like a deep dive into the event itself. Like, what did you get out of it? What was your favorite part? Did you have a favorite speaker? Is there anything that you would like to see differently when you attend next year? So I love that. And then I can follow up in an email or make a poll. It's like, this is what most people said they got out of this event. Would you agree? Would you like to see this next year? So that helps me because I like transcripts. I like doing things with the transcripts. And one of the things you can do with a transcript is like get poll questions out of them. So yay for Notebook LM and chat, because that has made it a lot easier. So yeah, I like to ask them about the things they said while we were still recording. And I think it's good for the people who were maybe shy of raising their hands saying, hey, I would like this for next year. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, ever since Notebook LM came for me, I still ain't talked to it yet. Again. Yeah, Notebook LM came for me, y'all. Okay? I was about to fight that thing.
Oh, it did.
It did so. It did so, Erica Bates. Okay. All right. Thomas, your turn.
What's the question?
I forgot. No.
I got lost in the chatter.
Okay, so how do you keep attendees engaged after the event, and what's your follow-up strategies that you swear by?
I think, the traditional one is email, but, I'm going to give them an opportunity to contact me, kind of included in the price, 15, 20 minutes to chat about their particular situation. Now, once again, the niche market I'm in, that can lead to sales for my consulting services. So, I'm in the water utility, management of water utilities and water resources. So it's really you're engaging the people in the event, and then you invite them to follow up with you one-on-one afterwards, and that will usually lead to sales, and usually you're talking it could be 2,500, 10,000. So it's a little bit higher ticket than just selling a $47 product too. So it's worth your time in the engagement. So that's generally how I do it, is to try to get them to the point where it's the one-to-one, where you have a prospect, a hot lead, I guess, or a warm lead anyway, a prospect, and you're engaging them one-on-one. And you give them some valuable information, their particular situation. You talk about that, and that's valuable information that they'd have a hard time getting anywhere else. And so they're getting value from that exchange, and I'm making the connection. So that's been the most effective for me for following up, sending emails and things like that. I guess you got to do it, but I think the response is a lot lower when you do that. But when you engage them one-on-one, that's pretty effective.
All right, Thomas. I think you got me thinking over here.
Yeah.
Like maybe I should start, because like people come to our office and I treat them and they leave. And today we were talking about what should our post follow-up be. And I was like, well, maybe I should just call. I hate call. I don't like calling people because I'm like, I don't like to interrupt their flow, right? So maybe I'll have Melanie text them and find out a time where I could talk to them just to see like how everything went and like do a one-on-one. I think that'd be nice if I could squeeze it in my schedule. That'd be nice. What do you think, Erica?
That Harry has always told us we need to call people more, and I don't do it. But hearing Thomas say it, it's like maybe I actually should.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't do
Yeah.
it. But one of our colleagues, her name is I just forgot her name right now. It'll come to me. I was helping her in one of the virtual event summits, and her attendance rates and follow-up game, we should all learn. And it's because they are calling them before the event to give them coaching. So the engagement and the retention and the show up rates are like, I was taking notes. Like I was like, holy smackadoodle, like 80% attendance rate. Like what in the world is this?
Wow.
So I was like, and I was crying. I was like, what are you doing? So they have a coaching team and they call them before and after. And I don't do it either, but I'm gonna start doing it. Like,
yeah, that sounds so cool. Like I'm just like, I don't know. I was.
but they have a team for it. They don't do it themselves.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
That makes
no.
me feel better.
Like they
I had set it up
yeah,
for
like I
Melanie
wouldn't do
to
it
start
either.
doing it.
No,
Okay,
no.
cool.
No, they
Okay.
have a team and like they hire, let's say, 5 coaches, and these 5 coaches take care of like 10 or 15 people each. So they're their people during the event. So they make sure that before the event, they get a coaching call, no sales call, no pitch call, nothing, just something to prepare them for the event. Then after and during and after the event, they're texting them, they're sending them messages. Hey, where are you? We're here, blah, 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 blah. And then after, that's the strategy I've seen the best I've seen so far.
Okay.
All of our
We'll get
colleagues
some snaps
like,
up to that one.
Copy it.
Some
If we can
snaps up
copy
to
it.
that one. Yes. No, because I was going to
Natasha,
actually.
that's her name, Natasha.
Okay.
So no, Natalie.
Okay.
So her team, she has that, and I was like, damn, this is so genius. And what they do is like they pay them 50, I think, I don't know, it's like 25% of the high ticket offer when they sell, because they're also the sales team. So it's like coach / sales team. So, and they don't pay, it's just commission based.
I like it.
Yeah, so I really like that. Like for a live virtual event, I would totally do it. For a summit, I would what I do is I follow people on social media and I stalk them and I make them my friends. The attendees, that's what I do.
Okay. I'm just like at this point, I mean, I feel like, so when I was literally had this meeting today and I had turned it over to Melanie, I was like, you are these people's concierge. It is your job to make sure you follow them through the rest of their journey. I don't care how long they stay with us, you are their person. And so then, yeah, I like it. Okay. So I don't have to be it. I appreciate that. Thank you for that clarity, because I was getting a little bit hot over here.
No, me too. Like, I'm a millennial. Don't call me. Text me first. Like, do not. Like yesterday that my speaker was calling me, I was like, absolutely not. Schedule a call.
Yes, exactly. I need to get myself prepared. You know, I need to have my tea or something so I can be ready. All right.
There's something in there. I just attended Omar El Tekakori. I'm most likely saying his last name wrong, but he told me that this was an automated message. And my phone rang. It was a voicemail. He did say it was an automated message, and he says, don't forget that this event is this day, this time, and we're going to start in about 15 minutes, whatever.
Oh, so AI voice. Yeah, we could do that too. With AI voice, we can create an AI that calls people and reminds them about the event. But I like the human approach of coaching them for 15 to 30 minutes to be prepared for the event. That was really cool. But AI could do that too. And you could just tell them, this is AI, and people are going to talk to the robots. They like it.
Yeah.
Well, my particular brand is like white glove. So everything is human. There's no AI. I was really having a hard time. Even our email sequence, I actually make Melanie send it out per person, because we don't have that many people coming through. It's not like we have like tens of thousands of people coming through, or even dozens. We have like maybe 5 at the max. We'll have 5 people a week. And so I'm like, you can send these people an email every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's small, yeah. But if it's big, yeah.
I love. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's when you're doing like one to many, it's really cool. But we're like, I don't even know if it's not even many. It's like a little bit. We should see a little bit of people. Like we're very, 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 very niche, extremely niche. Okay. So next question. Now this is the question that is most near and dear to Erica Bates's heart. Y'all ready? What are your go-to tools or platform for managing replays? We all know she loves what? Repurposing. Okay. And so you got to recap your content and nurture your leads after the event and all those different things you just talked about. What tools?
You want me to go through my whole list? Because
No,
I got a
ma'am.
whole
No,
list.
ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You can give me two. What's your favorite two?
I would say the most important thing would be the RSS feed,
Okay.
because that RSS feed goes to a lot of tools.
And second one?
Something that doesn't use an RSS feed. That's gonna be hard.
Okay.
Okay. Me and Chad are best friends. So yeah. I like to get the transcript and I give it to Chat, and I was like, hey Chat, would you make me a newsletter? Would you make me a blog post? Would you make me social media posts? Stuff like that. So Chat helps me a lot with my transcript.
Very cool. You guys, I am not going to let Erica Bates go into her mantra of things that she uses, because I feel like if you want to know those things, that you need to reach out to her, because that's something you need to pay for. All right, Thomas.
Well, if you're doing free stuff, I mean, your free videos, then YouTube is that's the second biggest search engine on the internet. So you're going to get found there. You got to have the right strategy to do it. But I think that is what I'd count as a tool to optimize your videos so they can be found. But it's a great place to go. And the other thing I use for producing my videos and streaming and stuff is Ecamm Live, which is a Mac tool, Mac only, but I found it to be a wonderful tool for putting together my shows and doing the graphics and creating scenes that I can switch, and it gets better all the time. So highly recommend, if you have a Mac and you're not using Ecamm Live for your live streaming, to get it. So.
Okay. All right. So, Philip got Ecamm. Erica was talking about that. She's like, she's not going back to Mac, but I'm gonna get to play with it finally, because I'm Phil can run the Mac and I can look at how to run the Ecamm, see how I want to do it. All right, I because I love the way that Ecamm does. I love the results of Ecamm. It does look amazing. If you are a Mac user and you're getting into virtual events, I would definitely concur with, excuse me, with Thomas about Ecamm, because I love how it's, to me. I use vMix for what Ecamm does, because it's for PC, but. If you, so those would be that would be the comparable, if you are a PC user.
vMix
Go
works.
ahead and tell you how you really feel about OBS, El.
No. Okay. What did you say, Thomas? Thomas, you said something?
Oh, I was going to say that you can't use Ecamm without using the Elgato Stream Deck too. So
Oh yeah.
I'll sneak that in there.
Oh yeah, that's straight with.
I
Yeah,
can't live without mine.
we definitely have one, and I think that the Stream Deck works with the Stream Deck works with vMix too.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, because I have one.
Yeah.
I took it back because I decided I wasn't gonna. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. We won't go there. Okay, Anna. Because we'll get into a whole nother. We loved rabbit holes around here.
I have a whole list like Erica, but I'm not as techy as you guys with the hardware.
Yeah. Okay, two. You got two. If you got a list, give me two.
Descript is my favorite right now.
I want
like I recorded all of the sessions in Descript, immediate transcripts, 4K. I was like, I love you. Never disappear, never leave me alone. I love it.
Oh yeah, we got a whole conversation about software that goes away. But the Descript, the one thing that caught my attention so strong about Descript is that you don't have to look at the camera, then the AI fixes your eyes. I want that so bad. I'm like, can they just give me
Yeah,
that feature?
it's still in beta though.
It's
So they're still working on the kinks on it yet because
okay.
every time I try to use it, it gives me a freaking error. So
Okay.
yeah, they're still working on it. I think they're gonna manage to eventually do it, but they just launched this they bought Squadcast. So
Hmm.
they're implementing everything in Squadcast inside of Descript. So now I could just record with people there. And I think like I don't have to record on Zoom because downloading on Zoom is horrible.
Oh yeah.
It's terrible. It's terrible. I'm much of a Zoom girly that I am. I'm not recording there anymore. And the other tool that I am obsessed with is High Level.
Okay, talk
Everything
about
High
it.
Level.
I ain't never heard of it.
So High Level is an all-in-one tool that has everything. So I have my calendar there. I have my funnels, my CRM, my communities, my memberships, my courses, like all of it, all of it.
Okay.
So that's where I'm hosting the summit this April, at the end of April. If you're watching this later, I'm hosting it inside of a High Level community. It's like if Slack and School and Facebook had a baby.
Okay.
So we're going to host it there, and then soon they're also launching like live inside of the community, so we're gonna like hopefully before the summit hopefully, but I'm not but yeah, now they have push notifications as well there. I can schedule my social media. I have QR codes, I have quizzes, I have coupons, like affiliate program. Like it's a one-stop tool for
Okay.
everything. So I literally canceled most of my tools, and I'm just using ClickUp, Descript, things that I cannot use and that are not that optimized inside of there, and I wouldn't change Descript for anything. Like that's
Okay.
it. But yeah,
All right. I bought instead of
High
buying
Level.
Descript, I bought Minvo. And you
Mm.
guys, we got to go check out High Level because you might have to come on
I
for
have
the
an
summer
affiliate
tiers.
link with a 30-day free trial if you guys
Okay,
want.
so you know what? You have to come to the summer tiers tomorrow on Friday. I mean, on Friday, and tell us about it because I think that would be a really great. I'm sorry, Erica, shameless plug, but summer tiers on Friday.
Well,
Come and then,
What
I'll
time?
tell you,
Because I have
it's like 7 a.m. for Anna Andrea.
but that's okay. It's not like she can't go back to sleep. I had to come to work. I had to be at work at 8 o'clock this morning. Ain't nothing wrong with getting up and going back to
I
sleep.
can get up this. I have to get up anyways. I have jujitsu class at 8:30, so I can
Yeah,
get.
it'll be all right. She'll be okay. Okay, so then, okay, you guys, it has been an hour, so we are going to take this last question and figure out our life. Okay,
Wait,
so
wait. Can we get Anna Andrea to tell us about her event that's coming up?
I'm going, hold on. I'm gonna get there. Hold on. I want to get this last question in, and then she gonna close us out. She gonna say she gonna dismiss us from the sanctuary when with her telling us about her event. Okay, so so I'm just gonna ask this question. When it comes to virtual or when events period and you're producing them, and what is your one thing that no matter what happens, I don't care if the building falls down, that you want to make sure that happens for your event? Erica?
Somehow it's going to go out live. Even if we have the whole event come and go, it's going to go out live sooner or later. I always make sure that happens. So no matter, even if you say one stream isn't working, later that day it's going to go out live.
Okay.
So if the internet goes out, somehow my phone hotspot is going to get it to work. If I have to go to the library, that event's going to happen. If I have to have somebody on my team use their internet, that event is going to go out. So there can be plenty of excuses and there could be plenty of good reasons for it not to work, but it's still going to work.
Okay. All right, Thomas.
So, question again.
What is, no matter what happens to your event, no matter how it goes, whether the building falls down, what is the thing that is going to happen, must happen for your event?
What must happen for my event is I got to, if I distinguish between the guests and just the regular, my regular technical presentations is you gotta, you gotta get the information out there in succinct format and make sure it's all actionable and usable for people. I feel good about presentation if I'm giving people, some usable advice. I sometimes take the fire hose approach, but I really think you need to give them something to take away. I know Erica has talked about events she's gone to where you spend an hour and a half and they give you nothing. And so I want to make sure that people are going to get some takeaways, and that has to happen. One way or the other, they got to have some actionable stuff that they can take away. So
Definitely. I'm so sorry, Thomas. That was hysterical. Oh my God. Okay, so he absolutely.
we've probably
one
all
thing.
been there, right? Where you,
Yeah,
where
oh
you
yeah.
get on this hour and a half long sales webinar and they're talking and talking and talking. It's kind of like, just get to the point.
Exactly. Or how about
Yes.
you go to an event and they tell you all this hype about the thing before you get there, and then you go in and they don't talk about what they told you to come
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
Hate that.
There
Huh?
That's just deceptive.
A-lister events that I'm not
Yes.
gonna name.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I was like, no. I was like, I will never come to another one of your things. Okay. I actually wrote them an email. It's like, I'll never come to another one of your things and I want my money back.
I
Yes.
had to ask for, yeah, me too.
Yeah, I want my money back because
Had to.
that's just a lie. Okay, so my thing, I don't think I have a thing. That's why I asked you guys. I don't really have a thing. It's like, because I always feel like whenever, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's just for that moment, right? Like how many, like we've had an event and the audio was crappy, because it was storming outside or whatever. So it's like, guess what? Y'all missed it. I'm so sorry, but this is what the video looked like. And then you talk over it or say something, but hey, you can repurpose what you have. But the thing is you don't want to ever put out crappy content. So if the video came out bad and the audio was good, then just use the audio in some way. Make a transcript from it, do something. Tell people you missed it, because, tech stuff happens. So I feel like you have to be prepared to let that moment be that moment sometimes. And just if you missed it, you missed it. That's how the real world works.
Yeah.
If you weren't at the party, you missed it, right? If you had to go to the funeral, well, you missed it. We ain't gonna redo it for you. So that's just how it works. So Anna, I want you to give us your must-have thing if you have one. And then
Like you, I
please,
don't think I have a one thing.
yeah, okay.
The show must go on no matter what. Like I always give this example. Katy Perry got her a divorce text and she still had to go on the show. She still had to perform. She was about to go perform and she got a text that they wanted a divorce. Russell, whatever his name is. And I also I give the Beyonce example. If Beyonce rehearses for 6 months for a 15-minute show, who are you to not rehearse with us? Who are you? So it's like either we rehearse, the show must go on no matter what happens, no matter what storm comes, no matter what. And the other thing is like, no matter what, whatever we marketed, we deliver. Like,
Yes.
no matter what.
Yes.
Like all of you guys, like if it's not like, get to the point, no fluff, no BS, and like the show must go on. Those are my 3 things. Like, I don't know.
Very
like,
cool. I love it. I love it. I love it. So if you can give us a synopsis of what your event is, how we can attend if we want to, how I can be on the panel, and that kind of stuff. All right.
Yeah. So it's called the 5-Star Community Summit. And the goal is to help you create a movement and leave a legacy. So my event has been created to help you build your community that is loyal, and a membership that gives you MRR, monthly recurring revenue, but doesn't have churn. So retention. And I go through three themes. So we're going to start with the foundation, then we're going to talk about growth, and then we're going to talk about scaling, how we can turn that audience into a community, into a membership, into a paid program. And it's going to be pre-recorded. I'm going to host it inside of a high-level community where I'm going to schedule the videos, and they're going to go like an in-person event, one after the other. No restreaming things, because that has been a nightmare. And okay. And I'm having some live experiences. So when you upgrade to I'm calling it the Legacy Lounge Pass, you get to come on a VIP networking party with the speakers and a meet and greet the day before. I'm still time to be determined, because I have speakers in Vietnam, I have speakers in the UK, I have speakers all over the US and Canada. So, and I'm in El Salvador. So it's probably going to be in the morning. And then on Monday, we're going to have a speaker Q&A that's also going to be live on Zoom. And then I'm going to take the videos out on April 30th. So you have until April 30th to binge watch everything. And the cool thing about this summit is, like, it's never been done before. We have speaker interviews first, and then they have their training session. So first I pick their brains, and then they give a training with actionable steps that you can take home. And the gifts that they're giving, it's ridiculous. Some speakers are giving away their whole trainings. Some are giving 3 months free in their memberships. Like, it's insane, to be honest. Like, I'm so grateful for my speakers. And what we want as a whole, as a community, I guess, is to help you build a movement, not just a community, not just build an audience, because I've seen too many content creators and too many entrepreneurs get caught in this content creation thing, but they're not bringing community. So I'm going to be talking about how to use events to glue the community. So I hope you guys come. It's free, but the upgrade is, if you purchase the upgrade in the one-time offer, it's $77 or $97, and you get all of the speaker bonuses that also are completely insane. Like, my speakers have, like, I'm serious, like, they love me too much. And I'm like, guys, you love me too much. This is insane. So it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a scavenger hunt. We're going to have prizes. My social media marketing strategies is gonna be one of the prizes. So if you want an audit, you can win an audit for your social media. And yeah, you can just join in 5starcommunity.com. So spelled out FIVE star community.com.
All right, you guys, y'all. Now I already just when is it now? Tell us when it is.
The what?
What's the dates?
Oh, April 25 to 28.
Okay. So
Yes.
if you are available April 25th through April 28th, 2025, you need
Yes.
to be in the room.
Yes.
I'm going to sign up just so I can go to I don't even want to go to 2 things.
You're gonna love the sessions too, I promise.
Oh, I know, but like I get ADD. I mean, I get like,
that's fine. That's why it's gonna be in the community.
On a replay. That's why I like the replay.
You can put it in double speed.
Like, very cool.
Yeah, and the speakers, they recorded the training sessions. It's less than 30 minutes. So
okay.
We have
yay.
So the session, so the interview is 20. There's only one speaker that it's 40 minutes because she's the lawyer, and we had to go through a lot of conversation with her. But most of the sessions are like 45 minutes altogether, but they're 2 separate. So you can watch the interview first, then the training, and then come back. But we're going to be inside of the community until April 30th. And then you get, when you buy the upgrade, you get 6 months of all this, of all the training. So, and I do have a time frame because lifetime does not exist. And I think that's bullshit.
Oh, yeah. We found that out the hard way with all the softwares and their lifetimes that don't work no more. Okay.
That's right. That's BS. So let's be real.
Yes. Well, I am definitely going to sign up, and I'm not just BSing. I'm definitely going to do that. And because Erica knows I don't do that for sure. I am 100. I'm definitely going to be in. So anybody else want to join us at Anna Summit at 5starcommunity.com? You are more
Would
than
you put it
welcome.
in the chat, the link in the chat for us, please?
Of
So when this
course.
goes back out, I want to link it, pretty please.
Thank you, Erica.
Yeah, see, that's why Erica runs, especially, virtual events. Erica actually runs all the text out of my virtual events because I just can't. I just don't do it no more. I done got too old for it or something. But yeah. So
That's not
I
a
am going to,
thing.
yeah, it is.
You're not too
No,
old for tech.
I just get, well, so let me
But
put
you're
it
not.
this way. I'm gonna put it this way. I have
Yep.
been very busy trying to do a lot of other things, and Erica Bates is my like sidekick for life. Okay. She like helps me get all my stuff done that needs to get done, and I'm very
You don't,
grateful for her.
and that's awesome because you don't have to do everything by yourself. And that's what
Yes,
events are. Like we can say that it takes a village. It literally
exactly.
takes a village.
100% for sure. So we're going
Yeah.
to let that be the last word. And Erica Bates, do you have anything else that you want to share before we go?
Yes, I want to share my screen and tell people about the next event coming up on the 15th.
All
Um,
right,
it
please do
is
that.
it is reflecting on your event launch and measuring success. That is April 15th at 6 p.m. Eastern. And that is about it. So that's all I
All right.
wanted to share with you guys. Hopefully you guys see my screen and you can see that it's 6 days away and that you can go ahead and register for it now. So that will be the fourth event out of my 4-part series.
It is. Okay.
Yes. And so she's
Cool.
definitely going to link that in the chat. And Erica will put the link in the replay if you have any questions about that. I wanted to try to keep this moving. I hope nobody got bogged down or overwhelmed. But if you have questions, please reach out to Erica. She will be more than happy to reach out to any of us if you have questions for us specifically. And Erica, of course, can handle any of your virtual event needs. If you want an expert on your team, please reach out to her because she is the one. If you have any questions, they can reach you at where, Erica?
LinkedIn. LinkedIn is my favorite platform, and my
Hold
name on
up.
LinkedIn is Erica Bates.
Yeah, that's funny because I knew that. I was my bad. All right, y'all. We out. Y'all have a fantastic day. Erica's going to stop the recording because you can't see the after party, people. We go party.
Bye, y'all.